All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Model Monday Live, August 14th. I am very excited to be here. How is everybody doing? I haven't even had a chance to look at the chat yet. Let me see who's here. Let me see what's going on. AMO Alex is here. What's up? Moldolci, old friend of the show, former tournament runner. Looking a little red here. See if I can do anything to help with that. Without knocking over my whole studio. That's a little better. All About Science and Mathematics is here. What's up? Welcome. Will is here today. Will, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Anti-Venom is here. What's up, man? Long time no see. Thanks for joining us. And Paulo Coco is here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Ciao. And welcome to everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Today is Monday, August 14th. We had an awesome tournament this weekend, tournament matchups. We had Ivan the Reasonable, the former champ, going up against 33KB Ram. We had Victor K going up against Raja Muhammad. It's pretty nutty matches. Chris Knudsen is here. What is up? Welcome. Rich Penn co-signing, letting me know that yes, indeed, it was epic. Man, I was edging my seat, especially in those first matches. I was really impressed with Wiki going up against the former champ, giving him a run for his money. That was definitely intense. Guys, speaking of intense, you notice behind me here on this monitor, strategically placed monitor, what we're looking at there is the login portal for the new build of TooTallToby. Still in beta, hasn't been released to the public yet, but we are right on the cusp of inviting new users in. It is absolute fire. I'm so excited to release the new build of TooTallToby.com. So you guys are gonna have a lot of cool stuff to do in there. We're gonna have a lot of interaction, a lot of activity for you. A lot of cool times in there. So it's definitely going to be a good time, and I'm excited, and I wanted to at least give it a quick shout out in the background here. The web portal is up. The login is up. We're almost ready to go. A couple of little things I just got to work out in there. Yeah, after beta always comes release. Okay, that sounds, that could be a little racy, depending on how you interpret that sentence. But yes, that is very true. Ex Machina is here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this weekend, and thanks for joining us in here today in the live stream. Let's get into it here. I know what a lot of you guys are here for. You're here for some CAD modeling practice, some CAD versus CAD challenges. So let's get into it on this beautiful Monday morning, August 14th. Like I said, we had really good matches this weekend. We had the former champ, Ivan the Reasonable, the 2020 summer champion, going up against 33KB Ram, and we had Victor K going up against Raja Muhammad. Those episodes are all time stamped, so if you ever want to watch those episodes or share them with somebody else, you're able to just jump in and jump right to the timestamp. I'm also thinking about just breaking up all the matches we've had so far and just releasing them as single videos. I got a week off this weekend to do some some recovery, catch up on everything. So we're not streaming this weekend with the tournament, so this might be a good time to go through and break those up. Let's see how it goes. Let's practice valuable CAD models. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So today we're going to do 2 speed modeling challenges. We're going to talk about the tournament bracket. We're going to do some live solves from this weekend using Onshape. And of course, we're going to interact with the best chat ever. Very excited to be in here with all of you. If you guys are watching, the easiest way to support the channel is to just hit that like button. It looks like we got 14 people watching. We got 5 likes. Let's see what we can do to get those to match up. I'm going to grab my extra mouse over here, see if I can at least give us a like. There we go. Boom. Now we're cruising. Now we're getting this thing up. Victor K is in the chat. What's up, Victor? Didn't get enough this weekend. Wants to come back for some more today. I love it. I love it. Can never get enough. If you want to support with Super Chat or Super Thanks or PayPal, those are all available as well. But on these casual Mondays, you know, the best thing you can do is just be sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you enjoy what we're doing, share and reshare. Let your fellow engineers know that every Monday, almost every Monday, we all get together and do some practice and see who is the fastest in the chat. Raja Muhammad says tomorrow is an independent day of India. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Raja, and welcome. Good to see you in here. Very nice to see you. Great job this weekend, by the way. Awesome seeing you compete. Raja introduced a brand new technique when it comes to 3D CAD speed modeling tournaments, bringing the image into the 3D CAD modeling environment. We're going to see if anybody else adopts that strategy, Raja. You might have set a new trend this weekend, so I'm excited to see how it goes. Of course, I want to thank our sponsor, SolidBox. SolidBox has supported the TooTallToby channel ever since we went independent. They have really been a huge advocate, a huge supporter, and they really have supported the user community in general. So if you're ever out there and you need yourself a professional workstation, if you're a professional engineer and you want to work with a company that supports the independent 3D CAD environment, be sure to check out SolidBox. They are an amazing partner, an amazing team to work with, and they will definitely take care of you and get you set up with a workstation that will last you for years, and it'll be configured for exactly what you need in the world of 3D CAD. So check them out, www.mysolidbox.com. They do a lot of different things. They can offer you consulting services, they can offer you training, but the main thing that they're known for is building and configuring workstations that will work as soon as you receive them. As soon as you receive it, it's just configured to work for 3D CAD. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to configure the BIOS. They give you a fresh, clean build of Windows without any of the bloatware. They strip all the bloatware out. They just give you a nice, clean, and mean machine. That should be their tagline. We build clean, mean machines. SolidBox, mysolidbox.com. And with that, let's get into our 3D CAD speed modeling challenges for today, Monday, August 14th. I'm going to show you guys a 2D print. You in the chat are going to be challenged to turn that into a 3D CAD model and calculate the mass. And you can do this using any 3D CAD system, anything that you're using. If you're using FreeCAD, if you're using Build 123, whatever you're using, it doesn't matter. All CAD are welcome here. So you're going to take this 2D print and turn it into a 3D model. Raja Muhammad said, yes, actually, I only have one small laptop, so I don't have any choice. I was wondering if that's what was going on with that image. Yeah. Cool. All right, you guys are going to calculate the mass, turn it into, or calculate the mass and then enter that mass in the chat. You can use any CAD package. You got to make sure you use the specified density. I think everything today is in whole units. And the first person to get it correct in the chat will be declared the winner. These are the units that we use in Model Monday Live. If you're here for the first time, let us know. We would love to say hello and welcome you to the TooTallToby community. And of course, these are the materials that we use when we are trying to calculate these models. These are the 3 materials that you'll have to choose from depending on what's on the title block. So be sure to do a screen capture of these materials. And the advanced rules are this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. I will make mistakes from time to time, and the Ivan exploit is permitted. The Ivan exploit is permitted. So if you find an opportunity to use it, feel free. But if you want to truly flex and do it the right way, that's even more impressive. All right, guys, here we go. Let's flip over to full screen. I'm going to show you this first challenge here. As soon as I show you the challenge, you're going to take a 2D screen capture and you're going to begin modeling this in your 3D CAD package of choice. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram. This part is called Cheap Tool. It's a revision of a similar part that we looked at a couple years ago. Hard to believe we've been doing this show for so long. But this part here is called Cheap Tool. It's made of ABS. It's like a tool that you might get with a, you know, a cheap a cheap project that you're building, a cheap, you know, frame or something like that. Maybe the frame isn't cheap. Maybe the frame is nice and metal, but the tool is just cheap. Kind of meant for like one-time use. Get in there, do what you got to do, and get out. So this is the cheap tool. I'm sure we've all received products that have cheap tools like this in them. I know I certainly have. And you kind of just throw it away and go get your actual toolkit. That way you can get the job done right. But today, your job is to turn this cheap tool model into, or drawing into, a 3D CAD model and to calculate the mass. I'm going to take a sip of my tasty beverage today. Today I'm drinking unsweetened, pure leaf black tea. So unsweetened tea is the drink of the day today. All right. Let's go. Let's do this, baby. My laptop suddenly shut down, but I will do my best on my end. You might have to do it by hand. You might have somebody calculating this thing by hand, trying to figure out what the mass is. It's all about science and mathematics, right? Gotta just figure it out. All right, I hope that was enough time for everybody to grab a screen capture, because we are going to move on with today's presentation. And in today's presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about the tournament. The tournament is in effect. I actually don't have the updated bracket here. This is the bracket from last week. So this week, we entered into the second phase. So we're officially past the halfway point of the round of 32. You can tell because of the winners of the round of 32. So far, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners. And now we have 9, 10 winners in the round of 32. So Ivan the Reasonable moved on this weekend, and Victor K moved on this weekend in an epic showdown with Raja Muhammad. The matches this weekend were really good. We're going to take a break this coming weekend. I'm going to take a break and do some catch up on some different things. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks on August 26th. So really good matches this weekend in the black bracket. Ivan versus 33 KB Ram. Great matches in the blue bracket as well. Really interesting to see 4 different people from 4 different countries. And next weekend, I think we have the same thing happening. Our next matches are going to be August 26th. Jack Sato is from the United States using Onshape. Robin is from Canada using SolidWorks. And Steamtronics is from the United States as well, but using Fusion 360. And Pranav is from India. Happy Independence Day. And he is using SolidWorks. So we got 3 different countries in our next matches. And then we will be on to the final leg of that round of 32. And we'll have a few more weeks of that. And then we're going to launch into our round of 16. And the matches are just going to get tougher. The models are going to get tougher. These are going to be some pretty close matches for sure. Now, on August 26th, I do want to make an announcement. We do have a special guest co-commentator. I'll just call him John. Let you guys, maybe you guys can guess a little bit about who that might be, that very special guest commentator that we've got on August 26th. But let's just say that he knows a thing or two about SolidWorks and about Onshape. That will be your hint about who the special guest co-commentator is for August 26th. I'm very excited. And we are going to see some epic matches here between Pranav and Steamtronics. These were some of the first people who actually registered for the tournament. So shout out to Pranav and Steamtronics. And also Jack Sato and Robin. We're going to see some matches here between Jack Sato and Robin. So these are going to be some good matches. August 26th, be sure to tune back in. We're going to take a week off between now and then. So no Model Monday Live next week. No tournament this weekend. But we are going to be back on August 26th. I'll try and queue up a bunch of content to release during that time, so you guys still get plenty of TooTallToby content. I see some answers coming in. AMO Alex answering already. Will answering already. We'll find out if those answers are correct. But you guys still have time. We'll show the correct answer around the 30-minute mark of this live stream. So this tournament, yeah, I am super excited with how this tournament is turning out. We are still looking for some sponsors. So if you're out there, if you have a company, if you have a YouTube channel, if you want to sponsor this tournament, get your name on this bracket, reach out to me, TooTallToby.com/contact. We would love to get some sponsors. If your company wants to sponsor, or if you personally even want to sponsor, reach out, let me know. Me and my team know. We can work with you. We have our sponsorship packages put together, ready to go, ready to discuss. So just hit me up, TooTallToby.com/contact, or AOL Instant Messenger, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Still rocking the AIM for those of you who still have your old Windows XP computers or your Windows 3.1 computers with your AOL IM installed, Windows 98 plus. All right, guys, these are some of the models that we saw this weekend. This first model I wanted to review here, just because it has this kind of really interesting shape in the middle that our runners, both of our runners, really struggled with this shape in the middle, this rib shape in the middle. The second model, it seemed like our runners both really were able to handle this no problem, but I still think it's worth kind of reviewing some different techniques of creating this model. Our third model here, Victor K and Raj Muhammad did this one, and Victor K and Raj Muhammad both were cruising through this model. It does have a little bit of tricky geometry with regards to the way that face is sticking out, so we'll take a look at maybe how we could approach that. And then this final model here, I think this one was pretty straightforward. A quick revolve, a couple of cuts, and some counter bores, and you are good to go on this last one. So let's start out with this first one here. I think that when it comes to a model like this, the main thing you always want to think about when you're trying to turn a 2D print into a 3D model is kind of, what's my game plan for this challenge? What's my starting plane gonna be? What's my starting profile gonna be? I think in a model like this, you want to take note that the model is symmetric. So we have symmetry here. We also have the dimension here, this 125 dimension coming from this circle here and then going up to this upper circle. So it probably makes sense. It's probably just intuitive to draw this thing from the top down and draw what we would call the footprint of the model in 3D CAD. So meaning you would probably start out by drawing a shape like this. Now, how much of that shape you want to include in that original sketch is going to really depend on how comfortable you are with 3D CAD, with 3D sketching, with sketching with 3D CAD, and with contour selection and using and reusing those contours for subsequent features. Because most of the time, it's good to save your cut extrudes for later and to create, your solid geometry first. So what I would probably do is I would probably create this kind of footprint area here. So this extrusion that goes up to 11 millimeters. Then I would create this boss here that goes up to 60 millimeters. I would create this boss here that goes up to 32 millimeters. I would create the rib, this kind of centered area, and then I would finish off by going back in and adding those cut extrudes. I think that makes a lot of sense in the real world. You might be able to include those cut extrudes in your original model, but I remember that I think it was Wiki, it was 33 KB RAM, who ended up having a problem because he included those cuts in the beginning and then his rib was sticking through into that interior face. I was really hoping we were going to see a delete face when that happened, but he decided instead to go back and edit the original sketch. So let's see what we can come up with this model. Just like what you guys are doing, I'm going to start out by grabbing a screen capture of this print. I'm going to move this screen capture over onto my second monitor, and then I'm going to attempt to create this model using Onshape. And so Onshape is a totally free CAD solution for anybody out there who doesn't have maybe doesn't have a good computer or doesn't have a big budget. Well, you could sign up for onshape.com/free today. You could be using the software within about 5 minutes. I do have a series of videos on the Onshape YouTube channel where I talk all about how I got started using Onshape, about how I got signed up for the free account and was up and running in about 5 minutes. And since then, I've made a lot of videos, a lot of tips and tricks videos, a lot of tutorial type videos on how to use Onshape. So if you're looking to learn a new piece of 3D CAD, or if you have a computer at home and you don't have CAD at home, this could be a great solution, working with Onshape and working with the free version of Onshape. One of the things I really like about Onshape is that it does, whenever there's an update, which the updates come out about every 3 weeks, they include a notification as soon as you log in, and then you can see here, it says click here to learn more, and then this takes you right to the page that explains what's new in Onshape. So set default rotation, curve pattern improvements, save candidate releases. These are kind of the highlights of this improvement. They have videos that help you understand what those improvements are. So you can see here's a video with audio.
and using the right mouse button to rotate.
Kind of just a quick little update here, giving us some new, some different controls over how things are going to, how the rotate command is going to work when you're right mouse buttoning or middle mouse buttoning dragging in Onshape. You can see that there's an update here on how curve pattern works, and then a quick video, just short video, 14 seconds, just a real quick video, 16 seconds here. But it just really helps you to kind of go through and see what has changed and how it has changed and how you can start implementing that into your workflow right away. And it's nice that these come out so frequently, and it's really nice that they explain right away what to expect. Toby, I'm facing a problem with the cover model 6 days ago. All right, maybe we should take a look at that one today too. Let's see what happens with that one, all about science and mathematics. Let me see what I can do for you. And all the training is now free. Yeah, the training in Onshape is incredible. It's up here at the top. When you're logged in here in documents, you can go in here to what's called Learning Center up at the top, and it's basically like college level degree courses, all laid out for you, start to finish, starting from somebody who has never heard of CAD before, explaining what CAD is, explaining the history of CAD, and then going all the way through and getting into things that are really deep and specific to Onshape. So the Learning Center has a ton of training in there that you can access to for free. So again, if you're looking to learn CAD, or if you know somebody, like you got somebody in your family, a youngster in your family who's like, hey, I'm thinking about learning CAD and 3D printing, this could be a great way to turn them onto CAD for free and without having to install anything. It just works right in your browser. So very happy with my Onshape experience so far. Yeesh, next time, note to self, change units first instead of typing MM after everything. Yes, that is a good pro tip there, Jason. That is a very good pro tip. I've done that before too. It's kind of nice that Onshape will handle that in the beginning. I actually made a video on a tutorial, I think like last week or the week before, about how I started out in inches or in millimeters by accident, and I typed IN for the first sketch, and then I went up and changed the units after the first sketch. So yeah, it's nice that some of these different CAD packages can handle the different types of units that are out there. All right, I'm going to create a new document here. I'm going to call this one 23-T-24. Curved support. Because this is the free version of Onshape, you can always look up any of the documents that I create. Everything I create is in the public space, so you as a free user and me as a free user can communicate, and you can always look up my designs and learn from them. I'm going to pick the top plane, press the S key, and begin the sketch command here on that top plane. Get normal 2 and press the S key again, and now I'm going to jump into the line, arc, line workflow. So I'm just creating a line, creating an arc, creating another line. Here I'm going to select these two entities here and press T to make them tangent. I'm going to select these two entities here and press I to make them coincident. And I'm going to select these two entities here and press V to make them vertical. And now I'm ready to jump into the Smart Dimension command. You can see here that even though this is running in a browser, it's just instant, snappy. That was one of the big things I was worried about when I was beginning to learn Onshape. This should be 30/2. This should be 55/2. These are shown as diameters, but I am defining the radius. And then this is going to be the 125. Yeah, one of the things I was concerned about starting to use a program that exists entirely in a browser was that the geometry was going to be slow or sluggish to create. And I've been pleasantly surprised that that is not the case. It just kind of instantly drops, instantly extrudes, instantly creates, and haven't run into really any lagging. So super happy with that as well. And there we go. There's my first sketch. I'm going to now take that and extrude that. And I'm not going to extrude the whole thing. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this kind of outer perimeter, but not these inside bosses yet. So I'm going to fill them in and bring that up to a height of 11. And then I'm going to go back to that kind of underside shape there. Select face, begin a sketch, and create another circle here. And this time the circle is going to just go right up to this point here. S key extrude, and that's going to go up to a height of 60. So that's 60 from the bottom. Again, I'm going to go to this underside here, S key, begin a sketch, jump into my circle command, click on this other point here that I created in my initial sketch or layout sketch, and that is going to go up to a height of 32. A lot of times I like to use the tab key to get through there. I just tab through, get to the height, and then enter. And now I can take this geometry, this original geometry, and turn that into a remove which is like a cut extrude. And I can remove this geometry here. So let's reverse the direction and make that go through all to remove those holes. And there we go, we got those holes, but whoops, I forgot to put the rib in. I wanted to put the rib in first. So we've got what's called a rollback bar here. We can roll that back to before those cut extrudes, and then I can add those cut extrudes in just a little bit later. So now I'm gonna create the sketch for that rib. And this rib is kind of tricky. It starts out coming down at an angle of 8 degrees. Then it goes into a radius here at 30 millimeters, and then it transitions in, oh, sorry, it goes this way. Then it transitions into another radius here at 66 millimeters, and then it comes across with a tangent line, and then this line is going to be horizontal. And this line here is supposed to hook onto this top edge of the model. So those two are supposed to be coincident or collinear. So there we go. That kind of gives me that location. Maybe I'll have this just kind of hanging out in space here. And then we've got, like I said, a radius here at 66, a radius here at, this is at 30, and an angle here at 8 degrees. So yeah, I mean, you can see that, you know, this sketch, I kind of did this on purpose. I wanted to make something that would be at least a little bit tricky. I didn't want it to be too easy for these guys. I knew that these guys are experts, although I don't really know who's going to get what model, because that's up to the wheel of fate. But you can see here that I was able to create that geometry, and then there's this one final dimension here that defines the location of the center point of that arc, and then another dimension here that defines the location of this point relative to the top of the model. And with that point being at this intersection, this is where things get a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult to figure out, you know, how am I supposed to define that point? Now, in Onshape, sometimes if I'm having a hard time figuring out where the intersection is on this thing, I'll use what's called an intersection curve, just to kind of give me something to reference here. So you can see here that I've got this intersection curve here, which is essentially a silhouette edge, and then I can just drop that point right on there, and there we go. That pretty much fully defines that geometry. And even though this line here is still kind of out in space, I can now go into the rib command, so I can finish out that sketch, go into the rib command here in Onshape, and I can say that I want to create a rib that has a width of 11 millimeters, and that rib is going to utilize this sketch here. And then what you can see is that the sketch is kind of coming up short here. Well, this is where you would use this option, extend profile to part. And normally that would work. It looks like I'm not really getting the feedback that I was hoping for there. And I've seen this happen. I think this is just a matter of maybe Onshape needing to revise their rib solver a little bit and get their rib solver to the point where it does kind of automatically extend in those scenarios. So let's hit the green check mark there. That finishes, you know, at least it merged over here on this side. But over on this side, I still have this gap, right? What can I do? Well, I could certainly go back and edit that sketch and just extend the sketch over. The nice thing is I don't have the hole there, so that's gonna, you know, that's gonna make it easier. I wonder though, if I do that, will the ribs still complete? Because now that sketch is overlapping, okay, it does complete. So that's certainly one option. I'm gonna use Control Z here. Another option might be to use Delete Face. You know, we do love when people use Delete Face. It gets us very excited. So let's see if we do Delete Face here and heal. See what we end up with. Nope, that didn't work either. Let's see, is there another option here? Cap, leave open. Delete face didn't give me what I wanted either, unfortunately. So then maybe the final option here would be to pick this face and then just do an extrude. You know, one of the cool things about Onshape is that when we go to extrude in Onshape, we don't need a sketch. So I can just pick that face and choose to extrude, and then I could say I want that to extrude up to next, and it's just gonna run right up to that circular boss. So, you know, a couple of different options there. It's always good to know that there are different ways to do things and to kind of experiment a little bit with those different ways when you run into challenges. Rich Penn in the chat is saying you could use move face as well. Yep, move face would be a great suggestion there. I like that as well. Definitely would work there as well. Kind of just move face and push that thing over. So, let's see here. Jason is saying, in SolidWorks, I turn on hidden lines / wireframe to make snapping to tangent faces like that easier. Is that an option in Onshape? Let's give it a try. That's a great suggestion. I don't know the answer. I'm basically an Onshape noob. I really am. You know, I'm still learning. I'm a little bit sharper than I was a few months ago, but I'm definitely still learning and learning a lot from the Onshape community. So let's try this again. So we'll begin a new sketch here. Let's get normal 2. And let's create this line kind of coming down here. And can we pick? I can't seem to pick that edge still. I'm willing to bet there's some kind of a shortcut that would let me do that, but I just don't know what it is. So let's see. What if I disable the imprinting option now? So yeah, there's got to be some kind of an option for selecting silhouette edge. And I really haven't looked that deep into it. I've really just kind of tried to intuit my way through it. There's been a lot of stuff that I have been able to find that way in Onshape just by kind of intuiting my way through the UI. But I confess that is one that I haven't found yet. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for that one. But for now, let's take a look at this thing. We did the rollback bar, right? We rolled the bar forward so that now we've got the holes going through that thing. Let's right mouse button over here and say assign material. I don't use convert there, Rich. I used intersection curve. With intersection curve, I was able to grab that silhouette edge. But, you know, it would be nice if I could just grab it based on the projection from the sketch plane. All right, let's see here. This is going to be made out of plain carbon steel from my custom TooTallToby library. And we are going to go to a mass properties of this thing and come up with a mass of 1294 grams. And according to my answer key, 1294 grams is correct. So if I was in the tournament, I would enter that over here in the chat, 1294. Hopefully I don't enter the answer incorrectly and lose points for that. But that is the correct answer, and we did it. Woohoo! Good game, Toby. Yes, indeed. Good game, Toby. So, like I said, if you are interested in seeing that model and seeing how I went through and did that model, you can always go to the public space in Onshape, and then you can just search for that model, 22-T. You could probably just do 22-T and see all the models that I've done here in Onshape. Look, there's other people who have done it too. Major Jamerson has done this. Michael Blanc has done some 22T-99. Nope, that's not me. But some of these here you can see Donna has done this model here. So that's cool. There's different people that are doing some of the TooTallToby challenges here. G31 is doing some of these. So very cool. And if you ever want to look up any of the models that I've done, you can definitely do so by just doing a search. Look at all these different people that have been checking out the TooTallToby content. I like it, man. I like it. I like it. This is awesome. Cool, cool, cool. 1 point to Toby. Yes. All right, cool. So let's take a look here at the challenge that I gave to you guys. Don't forget, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that like button. We got 19 people watching. We got 14 likes. Let's see if we can get those to match up. Check my inquiry. I'll take a look when I can. Thank you for sending me. And don't forget, guys, we do still have a couple of shirts. The TooTallToby technical tips and tricks shirts are selling out. We had a few sales last week, so we are looking to move the rest of these, and that way we can start releasing the new shirt. But check them out. They are the softest shirt in the CAD game. They are available for sale. TooTallToby.com/merch, and they are slimming. They will make you look very slim if you put on one of these shirts. So there you go. Another project I've been working on, I want you guys to keep an eye on this one, is TooTallToby.com/tips. If you go to TooTallToby.com/tips, you can check out my pro tips. These are here on the TooTallToby website, and with the pro tips, what you're able to do is filter. So you can say, I just want to see tips that have to do with SolidWorks, or I just want to see tips that have to do with Onshape. And it's just kind of a repository of the different power moves that I've created and how you can save time as you are going through the wonderful world of 3D CAD. My SolidWorks just crashed while listening to you and working. There you go. BJH giving us another reason to check out Onshape, because it is not going to crash unless you crash your web browser. So another reason to check it out. All right, let's take a look here at our challenge, the cheap tool. The cheap tool challenge here is live, and let's take a look at what our amazing chat have come up with for the answer to this one. Let's see here. We got to roll back a little bit here. It looks like the first answer that came in for this, what is the mass in XXX grams, came in from none other than AMO Alex, Mr. Alex from Small Country, 266. Will answering 227. Disagree, says Will, says I disagree with you, Alex. Alex revises to 249. Alex revises to 227. Now both of these answers are in line. We can see here that we've got 0.603 pounds. I already modeled this. It has changed. It is revision B. So if you're referring to an earlier version, you're not going to be getting the correct answer. So good try, but that is not going to be correct. That may be referring to the earlier version. Let's see here. Jason says 242 grams. Nicely done, Jason. All right. And X Machina Engineering says 244. Nicely done. 244. May have to do with the size of your monitor. Okay. Yep, I'll leave that one alone. Paulo Coco says 254 grams. Nicely done. Nicely done. Thomas is here. What's up, Thomas? Welcome. 228 grams. And Paulo Coco revising 261. You're allowed to revise as many times as you want in this Model Monday Live Challenge. All right, guys, I think that's everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. A lot of good answers coming in here. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is 228 grams plus or minus 1 gram. So congratulations. I know I saw Paulo Coco. Somebody in there revised at 228. I thought I saw somebody revise. 228 is the correct answer. Oh, it's Thomas. Thomas came in there, 228. Nicely done. The first person to answer that correctly was Will. 227.97, rounded up to 228, certainly within the specification. Very nicely done. Very nicely done to Alex as well, getting that correct. And very nicely done to everyone who submitted an answer here. If you went back to the old one, just note that a lot of times if there's a B here at the end of the drawing name, that's indicating that it is a revision from the original. Some of these I kind of go back to the original and come up with a new one. Try and give you guys a little more variety, a little more practice. So GG to everyone, and especially GG to Will, earning the point today. Very nicely done, and congratulations. Well done, well done. Let's take a look at another challenge here. Will, you are the winner. Yes, indeed. Here we go. Your second challenge comes at you on top chat mode. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Victor. I swear I changed that before. Okay, if I missed anybody, let me just go through and look real quick. I don't know if it's gonna refresh and show anything that I missed. Oh yeah, Victor, you're in here now. Okay, stand by, guys. We got a quick revision here. Here we go. Quick revision here. I was on live chat, or I was on top chat, not live chat. I always forget to change that. So you can see here, Will, 228. Victor coming in right after AMO Alex, 228. Very nicely done, Victor. Missed that one before. I think there may be one or two more in here that I missed before. I'll definitely be on the lookout for those. Doesn't change the result. Will still gets the point. But good to know, and thank you for that. Missed a couple of chats there. Thank you. Yep, Will still won. That could be a good t-shirt. Will still won. All right, guys, let's take a look at the next challenge here. This next challenge comes at you live in 3, 2, 1. Go! What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? This one is called 21-04-01B. B. It is a revision. Shoulder hinge. And take a look, guys. What's the mass of this part? This is in 1060 alloy. We'll see what's what with this one. I like this song. That's why I'm being quiet. All right, guys. Take a screen capture of this. Try to turn it into a 3D print. Do your best. This is Model Monday Live, so we are attempting to take this screen capture, turn it into a 3D model, calculate the mass. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? And, of course, enter that mass in the chat. I'm going to look for an image here. All right. See if we can grab this image here. Like so. Okay. All right, guys. Hope that was enough time for you to grab that image and begin turning it into a 3D cat. 3D something. I don't know. 3D something. We got the announcement for the new TooTallToby.com. It'll be launching this month, launching in August. The new TooTallToby.com. You're going to have lots of cool stuff to do there. I'll leave it at that for now. Got to keep moving forward here. Check out the calendar. Calendar has all the upcoming tournament matches, all the upcoming episodes, or not all the upcoming. It has upcoming episodes of the Model Monday Live episodes, live streams, anything that we're doing is on the calendar. We're going to try and use that calendar more in the future, so I'm just trying to get you guys used to using it. Check out the tips, TooTallToby.com/tips. We already talked about that. Let's see here. We got the CSWP training. I do train classes, guys. I have the CSWP training class done. I have Toby's tips and tricks class that is also just about done. So if you guys ever want to get some training with me, some corporate training, some training with your team, reach out to me. Let me know. TooTallToby.com/contact is the best way to get training. Lots of different training that I can deliver. But best thing to do is just get that conversation started. Eventually, I'm going to have more training that's more like live with the public. Right now, it's more like, you probably consider it more like private training where a company will hire me and then I'll do the training with just members of that company. But eventually, I'm going to be doing some training that's more public. I don't know if I'm going to go down the road of having pre-recorded training. It's not really my thing. I mean, I do lots of pre-recorded tips and tricks and videos and stuff. I prefer doing more live, in-person training. It just has a little more magic to it. So, I don't know if I'm going to ever go down the road of like a Udemy training class or anything like that. Who knows? I might do it, but I just feel like there's more, I don't know what the word is. There's more magic when you're together. I mean, I know not together physically. That would be awesome if we could start doing live training, physical, in-person training, but at least being live, on the webcam is a little bit more special than just doing it with a recording, I got plenty of content on YouTube you can watch if you want to watch recordings of me. That whole bass guitar, live series that I did earlier this year is just like, 100 hours of free training or whatever, however long I streamed for. I feel like I was streaming for 2 hours every day when I was doing that. I love these answers coming in already. Nicely done, guys. All righty, let's go. All right, we can certainly do these models from the tournament, but we do have a request here, special request from the audience, and you guys are very special to me. You guys are indeed the best chat ever. So if you guys are gonna, be the best chat ever and show up and ask these awesome questions, I'm gonna do what I can to answer your questions. So this one comes in from, who did this come in from? Ex Machina or from Mathematics? Let's see here. Had a problem with the cover model. All About Science and Mathematics. So All About Science and Mathematics asked this question. Said I have trouble with the cover model. Oh wait, this one, the lid, or a different one? The cover. Oh no, the cover, not this one. Sorry guys. Give me a second here. Open the wrong file. Cover. Yeah. Just give me 1 second here, please. Getting the other file up. I'm really taking my time to not show you the version of the document that has the answer shown, and then I'm realizing that I have the answer shown right at the end of the video. The answer is public knowledge. I don't know why I'm taking so much time to obfuscate the answer. But anyhow, I already did, so that's it. So here we go, cover, 901B, cover. Good suggestion here from All About Science and Mathematics. Great model here, a little bit tricky. Let's see if we can knock this thing out in Onshape in the next 5 or 6 minutes, and then I will show you guys the answer to the challenge that you are doing. So if you want to take a screen capture of this, that'll, this will at least let you get close to taking a screen capture. And this model, as always, we want to kind of come up with a game plan. The way you come up with a game plan when you're trying to turn 2D prints into 3D models, or when you're really trying to turn anything into a 3D model, is you want to kind of unbuild the model in your brain. You want to think to yourself, like, what are the different elements of this model? So, we've got this leg here. That's one element. We've got the circular boss at the bottom of the leg, and there's a pattern of those. There's a 4X pattern of those. So we know that we're going to use a circular pattern. We're only going to make one of those legs, and then we're going to pattern it. So, okay, that's one section of the design. And then there's this kind of center area that comes over, comes up, and then comes up to a point here. And that's probably going to be created as a revolve. So we'll have a center line, and then we'll revolve about that center line to create that kind of centered area. Well, that's another area of the model. And I think I'd probably make that area first, and then I would go and make one of the legs and try to pattern that leg around the model. So now I kind of have an idea of the game plan for creating this geometry. And this is just a habit that you want to get into. You want to really get yourself into the habit of how am I going to build this thing? What's my game plan? What features am I going to use? You want to think about all these things before you actually jump in and start sketching. And that's going to really set you up for success. Again, whether you're doing speed modeling like what we're doing here, but certainly in the real world, this is just what you do. You know, if you have an idea for something around the house, you're going to visualize it in your head. Maybe you're even going to sketch it out. And then you're going to ask yourself, like, what features am I going to use to build this thing? What's going to be the order of feature creation? Where's my starting sketch going to be? Where is my origin going to be? So these are all really good questions to ask. And I think that for this model here, I'm going to start with a sketch on the front plane. And that sketch is going to have this point here at the top. And the first feature that I'm going to create is going to look something like this. So I'm just visualizing this model. I'm looking at this, the section view of this model. I'm really looking at this area up top here. You know, this first feature looks kind of like this, like a pointed nozzle type thing with a circular boss at the bottom. So now I can use this geometry from the section view, the dimensions from the section view, to define what that geometry is supposed to look like. Here you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Q key, and I'm going to create a center line. And that way, when I go in to add my dimensions, I can create doubled dimensions across that center line. Makes it way easier than trying to, type in half the dimension or calculate that on the fly, or whatever else you might have to do to get that half dimension for the radius. So I'm just kind of looking at the different views here, looking at the dimensions from these different views. By putting that origin right there at the top of that peak, it really helped me out to get this geometry fully constrained or fully defined, meaning that it's changing from blue to black. So looks like this is 50 to that center line, 50. And there we go. That's our first feature. Let's take that geometry, turn it into a revolve. Here we can see in Onshape, we're going to just pick our axis for revolution, and boom, Onshape gives us a really nice preview. That's pretty much what I was expecting that first feature to look like, so that's good. We're done with that first feature. Just like last time, I could have put this cut extrude in the bottom of the model, but I decided to wait, and the reason I'm deciding to wait is because I anticipate that the sketch for the leg is going to start out there right at the center and then come over and down, and I'm going to create the sketch for that leg. So, I don't want to give myself extra challenging geometry if I don't need to. Let's just save that cut for the end, and we'll hog that thing out at the end. So now we need to determine what the geometry of that leg is supposed to look like. And this is where things get a little tricky because of how the dimensions are in this model. This is one of these spots where a lot of times I see Onshape users in the tournament kind of merging the technique of a layout sketch and the sketch for their feature. And so what I mean is, a lot of times what I have seen, again, in the tournament, is I've seen runners that will create the geometry of the leg like this. So let's just say this is the geometry of the leg. I'll go back in and clean this up in just a little bit. But they'll create the leg like this, and then they'll also create the geometry for the foot itself as part of that same sketch. So maybe create some geometry like this, and maybe even create a center line here going from midpoint to midpoint. Let's press Q to change that to a center line there, going midpoint to midpoint. And the reason that they do that is just because it makes it a little bit easier to get in here and start laying out this geometry and making sure that we've got the correct sizes. So, I could totally get on board with this technique. I think there's a lot to be said for this technique. I think that, it's something that I can always go back and reuse that sketch at the end. So why not just include it here? So now it's just a matter of going through and starting to define some of these dimensions, define the stuff that you have already. And then maybe come back and define the stuff or try to figure out why things are still blue. That's a good technique. Once you have a few dimensions, you can get in here and start changing some of the sizes of some of these elements. So it looks like the height here is supposed to be 20. I guess I can just take this leg and drop it right onto that same center line, right? The leg here and the center line can be coincident to one another. You know, and then that's going to be vertical. I think that will probably work. I don't know. If that gets me into trouble later, I'll take a look at it. Let's see here. The distance from this location, the tangency point of that circular boss to this location, the corner point of the leg, is 45. That's a weird dimension. I don't know who created this model, but... Okay, make those two lines there parallel. These two are also 20 in thickness. And I think this area up top here is also 20 in thickness. Yep, this is 20 as well. There we go. And then this and this are going to be collinear or coincident. All right, this thing's starting to get a little bit closer to what I was hoping it would look like. Let's see here. We've got a diameter of 270 from the center of that circular boss all the way across. So let's type in 270/2. Okay, and that gives us half of that diameter. We've got an angle dimension here. So it's kind of like as we go through and we keep adding dimensions, we get more and more black lines, and that's really what we want. That's really what we're hoping for. It looks like there's a distance from the bottom here to the very bottom of this circular revolve. So again, having that circular revolve in there really helps to fully define this thing. And there we go, 40 and fully defined. So that's an example of, you know, you creating the geometry for the leg, but also creating the geometry for the circular boss kind of in one step. And so now we can jump into our extrude command and we can say we want to extrude not this whole thing, but this region and this region. And those are going to get extruded out to a depth of 30. Let's make that mid-plane or symmetric is what it's called in Onshape. We bring that out to 30, and now we can go back and show that sketch again, and now we can use that sketch to create a revolve. So we're going to say that we're going to revolve just this region. I wonder if that revolve axis needs to be solid. Let's see. Yeah, I think it does. Okay, no problem. So now I could either make that solid there, or I could just create a new sketch, which is probably what I would do in this spot. I would just make a new sketch. Just take this point and this point, drop in a rectangle, and then say I want to revolve that about this line here. And there we go. That gives us that circular boss. And now we're ready to drop a hole in there. We can either use the hole creation tool, or we could just make a cut extrude. I think either one is valid. I'll do this with a cut extrude for this time. So now this is going to have a diameter of, looking at my print here, 15. Wow, that was located in a weird spot. It was on the section view. That could either go up to next or through all. There we go. And now we're going to do a circular pattern. So here in our patterns, we're going to do a circular pattern, and that is going to be of the leg of the boss here. Oops. Oh, okay, sorry. In Onshape, you've got this option here. Whenever you do a mirror or a pattern, you have to remember to go into this pull-down menu and specify what it is that you're trying to pattern. So I'm just going to try and pattern this feature. Honestly, in this particular example, I probably could have just done the whole part and patterned it because it's currently axisymmetric. But and then for my axis for pattern, I could maybe pick this line here or, you know, whatever. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks pretty good. Let's hit the green check mark. Oh, what happened there? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That all looks good. And maybe I would be better off just doing the whole thing. Let's try it with a part pattern. Boom. I didn't think I was going to need to use that, but I'm glad that it worked. Let's do that. Really, we want that to be merged. I think I missed a step here to merge those, but it's easy enough to get in and merge them. And then we will S key, create a circle here, and we're going to create a circle on this bottom surface with a diameter of 30, and that is going to get extrude cut to a depth of 30. Nice and easy. And now we can go to our material here. So we can hide some of this stuff if we don't want to see it. If anything's shown here that we don't want to see, we can press P to hide our planes. We can go to our material here, and the material is going to be ABS. There we go. And then finally, we can go to our mass properties, and we can see that this thing has a mass of 714.4. Is that right? And I don't know if that's right or not. Here's my cover drawing. Like I said, guys, I was obfuscating this for no reason. Now you guys are going to get a chance to see it, and we'll see if we got that right. 714. Boom. We did it. So that is correct, 714, and I hope that that helps you. It's all about math and science and mathematics. I hope that that was good. I see that some people are having to kick out of here, and I understand. I actually am teaching later today, so I'm gonna have to kick out of here soon as well. Good. Oh, I don't know if you're saying sorry because you have to leave, or if you're saying sorry because we showed that, but that's all good, man. I'm glad that we showed it. That was good stuff. So there we go. That is how you would do that model. I hope that that helps with how to create that model. That is the correct answer. So let me close that document. And then if you guys ever want to find these documents, just go into Onshape and you can search the public space and you can take a look at those documents. And let's take a look here at our answer. Remember, guys, if you ever want more practice, I have over 50 models on the practice models playlist. All right, here we go. Answer number 2. Let's see what kind of answers we got from the chat on this one. I saw some answers coming in right away on this one. So let's see what we got on this one. We got 839 coming in from Victor K. Will coming in 847. AMO Alex 823. So the very first 3 answers are all different. That's good. That's good to see there. Victor revising to 847. AMO Alex revising here to 826. Let's see here. AMO Alex revising to 831. Jason okay at games coming in 848, revising to 847. You can revise as many times as you want. Thomas coming in here 847. Paulo Coco coming in 831. Raja Muhammad 839. Very nice. Paulo Coco revising 843. Very nice. Very nice. And let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer for this one is 487. Wait, that can't be right if you guys are all coming in with 847. I think I just transposed one of those numbers there. 847 is the correct answer. Nicely done to the chat. Let me just change that real quick. Little minor glitch in my brain. 487, 847. There we go. Boom. So congratulations and GG to Will coming up with the correct answer first. Congratulations to Victor K coming in right behind him. These guys might be on a collision course in the tournament, so we might end up seeing the Will versus Victor K showdown here in a little bit. Is that possible? Let me see. Hold on. Let's look at that tournament bracket. Do I have the tournament bracket at the end? No. Let's look here. Will and Victor K. Oh, man. If Will gets through his match with Cam, then it's going to be Will versus... Wow. Then it's going to be Will versus Victor. That's going to be... Let's go there to the blue bracket. There it is. So good luck, you guys. You got a little grudgy match going. I like it. I like it. Will gets both points for today. Guys, let's give Will a GG in the chat. Let's look forward to that matchup. Victor K did advance through this weekend, so if Will gets through on September 2nd, it's going to be really, really interesting. Ethan asking in the chat, can we do a wedge bracket, please? Yes, we can definitely do a tutorial on that one. No problem, Ethan. We'll get that one out there as soon as possible. I'll try to release several of these tutorials for the next couple of weeks because I'm going to be out of pocket for a few days. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun today. I'm glad we got to do our challenges. I'm glad we got to answer some questions, got to go through and do a tutorial there on the cover using Onshape. Glad that Will was able to get the answers right on both. Will gets 2 points, gets a clean sweep, gets a bonus point for doing the clean sweep. So congratulations, Will. 3 points for Will today. And congratulations to all of our winners and really everybody who did chat today. Don't forget to check out SolidBox. They are an amazing partner anytime you need any kind of hardware solution for any of your 3D CAD systems. And don't forget to check out the Onshape playlist that I've got over on the Onshape YouTube channel. It's a great playlist. It'll really take you through everything you need to get started in Onshape. Leave lots of comments in there, lots of thumbs up, lots of traction from the TooTallToby community over there. Helps us to keep that session going too, that series going too. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to join us on August 26th. We have a very special guest, somebody who knows a lot about SolidWorks and knows a lot about Onshape. So I'm very excited to pick his brain and have him tell me the ins and outs of what's going on with these runners using SolidWorks and Onshape. A very, very special guest. And thank you guys so much. No Model Monday live next week. No tournament this weekend. I will see you guys on the 26th in a couple of weeks here. Saturday the 26th will be the next time we're going live on the channel. So thank you guys so much, and looking forward to seeing everybody there. Have a great rest of your week. I hope this is a good way to start the Mondays. I think it's a great way to start our Mondays. Be on the lookout for announcements, beta invitations to the new build at TooTallToby.com. Those will be coming out to some of you over the next couple of weeks, and we will officially announce probably during the tournament, probably on August 26th. So I will look forward to it, and I will look forward to seeing everybody on August 26th. Take it easy, everybody.